The Burning Crusade is right around the corner, and with that comes smaller raids. We've been enjoying 40-man raids in vanilla WoW, or classic WoW I should say, and now the raids are going to be much smaller. We've had 20-man raids and 40-man raids, now they're going to be 10 and 25. And 5-man parties are going to be a lot more popular as well, so we're going to have to anticipate doing a lot more 5-man groups in terms of leveling up, attunements, all that. So we're going to need, in general, more raid leaders, more tanks, more healers, just more team players in general. One of the rarest things to find, guys, is community leaders or raid leaders. There's going to be a lot of GDKP pugs in TBC. My prediction, at least, is that there will be a lot of GDKP pugs. And with a big demand for GDKP pugs will come a big demand for raid leaders. So if you guys are interested in learning how to raid lead ahead of time, get ahead of the curve, and maybe raid lead a Crusade or whatever phase 1 content there is, phase 2 content. Or, I mean, I'm not saying that I have experience with raid leading in TBC, but you guys know me for my raid leading in Classic, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't start as a perfect raid leader. I had to learn as I went, and I can teach you guys what I learned. There's actually just 3 easy steps for hosting GDKP pugs. It's really easy. The 3 steps are: make groups quickly and accurately. 2, know the boss fights, strategies, and routes. And then 3, sell the loot. To be quite honest with you guys, I can help you with all 3 of these steps by using my Discord, by using my experience, by asking me any questions. I will be helping you guys make groups for Karazhan and Gruul's Lair, or whatever phase 1 content we're going to be tackling with my Discord. Obviously, I will not be able to run every single group as time goes on. I have to level up my ults with you guys, and there will just be a lot more demand, as I said, because of smaller raids, right? So Karazhan only being 10-man group, you guys are used to 40-mans, and the first thing we're going to be doing is a 10-man. So we're going to need 4 times as many raid leaders. So right now, you guys already noticed there's not that many raid leaders. It's not that hard to become a raid leader. Like I said, I didn't know how to raid lead too much before I started raid leading GDKP. I knew a little bit. I knew about the strategies, but really it's about learning and being willing to ask questions and willing to just try some stuff out. So 3 steps: make groups quickly and accurately. I usually just follow a pre-designed kind of class format. I can share that with you for Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, you know, Karazhan, whatever the case is. Just find a roster or a class composition that you like, the number of tanks, healers, DPS, ranged, melee, all that stuff. Decurses, dispels, kind of like get a good picture of what you have, what you want. You can even go to Wowhead to make these rosters and see what you want. As far as making the groups quickly, having a community with this Discord really helps. Having just guildmates, friends, this all helps. Be persistent in hanging out in trade chat, group chat, and just believe in yourself, because people do want these groups to get going. You've been out there looking for groups, and as a raid leader, you have to believe that there are people out there trying to make these groups happen. The second point, knowing boss fights, routes, and strategy. A lot of the times I've been helped out from my star players, from my strong players in my groups. So don't be afraid to lean on other people when necessary. Now, as a raid leader, you do want to have the most amount of experience or the final say at the end of the day, but you also want to be able to say, hey, I don't know this aspect quite well, and could have, you know, have people just talk about it or help you out. Don't be afraid to ask questions as a raid leader, and you know, after the raid, if you don't understand something, go look it up, or look up how other people do it, or ask another raid leader. We all learn on the, you know, as we do stuff. I'm still learning new ways to do things. I watch other raids, you know, the way they handle strategies. Don't be afraid to just try it out. If it doesn't work, go to another raid, check out what they do, ask someone else the question, and you'll learn over time. The second point, which is boss fights, routes, and strategies, you'll get better at. Don't worry. You'll definitely get better at that. The last point, selling loot. Not that hard. It's really not that hard, to be honest with you. It's intimidating to some people. There's a lot of strategies, or styles, I should say. There's a lot of styles to selling or auctioning loot. There's no right answer. I don't think I'm the perfect guy to do it. Some people like my style, some people don't. You can save it all to the end. You can do it as it comes. You can bundle it up. You don't have to. at the end of the day, auctioneers would like to generate more gold, because that's one thing you could, you could say you did. I persuaded people to bid a lot, right? And then people get bigger payouts as an auctioneer. But really, the biggest thing at the end of the day as an auctioneer is that you just want to be able to do it correctly and accurately. So as long as you don't mess up the gold, as long as you hand it out all good, no one's going to be too upset. Now, you can even divide these 3 parts. I said there's 3 parts to being a good GDKP Pug raid leader, right? Making groups, knowing boss fights, and selling loot. Turns out you can actually just make those all 3 different people. You can have one person in charge of organizing the raid and inviting. You can have someone in charge of boss strategies and raid chat calling. And you have a 3rd person in charge of auctioning. I do all 3 myself. I can teach you guys how to do all aspects. We can teach you guys one at a time. But the point of this video was to kind of just lay it out and show you it's not that hard to raid lead. You just have to want to do it. And when the Burning Crusade comes out, a lot of people will want raids. I'm willing to teach you guys how to do raids, how to raid lead, how to organize these things. I think the best time to prepare for this type of stuff is right before TBC. Because when TBC comes out, there will be a lot of things for you to think about. You'll be thinking about your own classes, your alts, making gold, leveling up. There's a lot of things that you'll be concentrating on and focusing on. And if you can just build up any one of these 3 skills that I just mentioned ahead of time, I think you'll do yourself a big favor. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see the future of raid leaders on Fairbanks or anywhere in World of Warcraft. Thank you guys so much.